Hello and a very good afternoon, good morning. Welcome along to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Mosby. Thank you for joining us. It has been a brilliant day so far with a great little sneaky peek show with our wake up call. We've got creative cravings to come, and sandwiched bang slap in the middle is this little old craft along here, the award-winning craft along, no less. Thank you so much to everyone who voted for us in the nominations, and we've got a nice big gong for this show, and we're pleased that it is back as well. Before though we chat about the craft along and what we are going to be doing, let me remind you that on the run up to Christmas, we are doing our 12 days of Craftmas. Oh yes, and this is the 8th day of said event, and each and every day we are bringing you an extra saving, perhaps, maybe a little free gift, maybe some extra points. Today, I mean, yesterday's was amazing, but today I think might even trump yesterday's little deal. We are giving you, for today only, 25% off our Gemini machines, excluding the rose gold machine, but it does this time include the foil press as well. So if you are in the market for a new machine, a first machine, maybe you're looking to go from a manual to an electronic, maybe you've got an electronic machine and you want a little manual machine to go alongside it, head to the website and get shopping for those deals. They are only live up until 8 a.m. UK time tomorrow, or 3 a.m. 3 a.m. East Coast time, I should say. So those deals will disappear tomorrow. So make sure you grab them whilst you can. It is a craft along. I am going to be crafting along today with Jan, going a little bit further today and actually doing it from scratch. Normally Jan makes me a little pack which helps when I'm sort of doing the presenting and the reading, but we thought, you know what, let's go whole hog today. So this could work out, it might not work out, but whichever way, we will have fun doing it. That is the main thing. But what are we going to be making? Well, we're going to be concentrating on the Build a Border collection, and our lovely Jan, the other side of the studio, is going to show you what we are going to be putting together.
Fabulous, yes. So we're going to have a play with the border dies. They are sets of 3 if you haven't seen them before. So in each packet there are 3 variations of a die. I've just used 2 of them here. You can see I've got that straight edge border down the outside of the card, and then inside it's the same design but on the curved edge here. Okay. So the third one is like a wavy edge, which I'll show you when we open the die packet. But this one, double gatefold, so it all folds flat and it's 6 inches square, and then obviously we get this to extend, and you've got that. And we've gone for Happy New Year. I've done a lot of Christmas projects. It's coming up to Christmas now. I only have one more day here at Crafters TV after today, before Christmas, and so I thought, right, why not, let's not do Happy New Year today. So I wouldn't necessarily associate butterflies with the new year, but I'll show you how I've adapted that sentiment die in the centre there as we go along through the craft along. So yes, we're going to be doing this, and our Ben's got his guillotine over there, he's got his scoreboard over there. We're going to be starting from scratch today. We're moving him up a notch, because normally I have bits prepared like we do when we're doing our demos because of time, and the fact that, I said to him, I says, I get here to stand here and craft, stand and play. He's got a job to do over there. He's got to present as well as craft. So yeah, it's a tough one. So we'll see how he gets on today. I think he's going to graduate with honours at the end of the day.
Well, as I said to you, Jan, I said this earlier, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I've been given like the sort of oomph to get crafting and have it go, mainly from the craft alongs that Jan and I have done. So I've been able to go home last week, and Jan saw me take away a load of crafty goodies, and crafted with my Daisy for the first time, which was amazing. We had a great laugh doing that. And then this week we were doing some stenciling on another show with Michelle, and I thought, I'll give that a go. They gave it a go. My card, one card of the show. So yeah, come on, I'm up for having a bit of fun. If it goes right, brilliant. If it goes wrong, even more the funnier. But I'm sure it's going to be brilliant. I've got the mistress of craft teaching me, holding my hand as we go along. So it is going to be brilliant. Do let us know if you're crafting along as well. If you are planning on crafting along, but you don't know what you need, Jan has got the full list of everything that you're going to want to have.
We sure have. So are we all right to go through that now then, guys? Right, here we go then. So product wise, I always list the product first. So excuse me, we're going to need 2 sheets of A4 white stamping card, and then a sheet of silver Miri card and a sheet of black glitter card if you've got those to hand. If not, as always, I know you guys are really good at substituting your own things in there if you've not got the same colour scheme that I have. And then I'd put, instead of putting good in scraps of, I'd sort of gone for an A5 piece of silver glitter card and a piece of black gloss card. Again, if you haven't got them, substitute them in for things that you've got in your stash there. And then just scraps for die cutting elements of silver mirror and black glitter card. So there isn't a lot of the main piece left over when we've cut all the mats and layers, so that just pop those extras in. Then of course your Gemini Builder border die. I chose to use the Eastern Trellis, but any of them from that set will work. So again, whichever you prefer. We've also got a set of sentiments on the show for you. And again, I chose butterfly foliage, and we're going to convert that to a Happy New Year stamp to go in the centre of our card. And then some kind of sentiment that says, it's the New Year bit that we need, because the interchangeable sentiment's got the happy on, and then we're going to take out the bit that die cuts and replace it with a New Year sentiment. And then I've got lots of little pearl embellishments on mine, again optional whether you want to add those or not. And then just at the end, for that centre feature on the card, just to help close it, I've used a couple of circle dies, 2-inch one and a 1 3/4 inch, and a couple of small star dies just as extra embellishments. If you've got those lying around in your stash, if you haven't, don't worry, it's not a crucial part of the card there. And then again, those additional elements, you see in that list now, it's becoming a regular list. I tend to refer to it as a basic toolkit. It pretty much consists of the same thing each time we bring it up now. So your choice of Gemini and plates, you will need the sort of midi size upwards, whatever your choice is. Ben's going to use the midi today. I've still got my large Gemini out. A4 guillotine for cutting up that cardstock, scoreboard and scoring tool to get those score lines in, scissors and pokey tool, pencil and ruler, 6mm, 3mm red line tape if you have it, the all-purpose and tacky glue. I always put all the glues on just so that people have got a choice. There's the double-sided tape pen there and the dotted tape pen come in handy. And then some kind of stamping platform, whether it's the little 4x4 or anything above that, just to stamp that sentiment out, and a black stamping ink. Again, it doesn't matter what kind, just a black ink for stamping out a sentiment. We don't need to worry whether it's a waterproof or an alcohol-proof one. So we'll give you a few minutes to get all those things together if you haven't collated them yet, and then we'll come back ready to start in a little while.
Excellent stuff, and we'll also give you the opportunity just to get your hands on this deal should you want to grab it. Remember, the great thing about these craft alongs is that they will stay on our Facebook page, and you can see them all on our YouTube page too. So the best thing is that you can subscribe to our YouTube page, yet they do stay there forever. Producer Georgine there, she's putting pressure on me now. They're there forever. So you'll be able to watch my crowning glory on this craft along. But the point is, you're getting the goodies today. You'll still have that craft along there when your goodies arrive. Quick few hellos. Rachel's on our socials today. Hey Rachel. Kathy's in from an unseasonably warm Illinois. Sarah's in from Melbourne, Australia. What time is it there, Sarah? For goodness sake.
Bless her.
Patsy's in from Michigan. Clarice from South Carolina. Alison from Chester. Patty's in from California. And hi to Pam. Says hello from Southern California. Excited with this craft along. I've just got my Builder Border dies yesterday. So if you haven't yet got yours, this is the collection that you can grab today. 32 elements in total, and basically what this allows you to do is create the border that you want to create with, because within each of the sets you've got your curved border, you've got your wavy and your straight border, and then the ability to add even more elements to each of those borders should you wish as well. And actually, if you want to use them and cut them into your card, not use them as borders, you can do that too. But I just love the fact that you have literally got the ability to build your own border, to really make it as personal as you want it to be for the particular card that you're going to send. You've got Moroccan trellis, your elegant daisy chains, your delicate hearts in there too. In fact, let me just show you the boards which are going to give you an idea of all the beautiful designs that you are going to receive in this collection. You're also going to get 10 sheets of your cardstock included as well. But these are the designs, and I think, is it the Eastern Trellis we're going to be working with, isn't it?
For my design, yeah, but as I say, any of them will work with it. It's the same concept, just different designs in there, yeah.
And with each one, you get the patterned die, don't you? You get a straight edge for the curvy and the wave, if that makes sense, but then you've got also the die to allow you to add the extra detailing onto the edge of the die as well. So that is your Eastern trellis, which is stunning. Then you've got your Moroccan trellis. Again, lots of different combinations and different ways to be able to use these. My favourite is just around the corner here, which is that one. I love it, mainly because it's called Daisy, but that elegant daisy chain. It's nice, isn't it, for you really to be able to build these up should you wish. And like you showed us earlier on with the card, which came a narrow second on Wake Up Call, to do the layers of them as well. And you'll see there's loads of different ways to be able to use them. And then the last that you've got in this collection is this one here, which is your gorgeous delicate hearts, which is the one that Jan was using a little bit earlier on. If you don't want to go for the full collection today, there is a deal for you as well. 2 for £29 or 2 for $39. But as I said, if you go for the full collection, we are going to throw in 10 sheets of your lavender card stock included as well. It is the launch offer that you're going to get. But whichever way you want to go, and of course, if you want to buy individually, if you just watch this craft along today and go, I just want to be able to replicate the project that Jan's made, I'll just go for that one set, then obviously you can. But this is the main collection, the main value for money that you are going to get. A few more hellos just as we give you a couple of seconds to get your bits and pieces together. Patty just saying, I love Jan's craft alongs. They're always good, aren't they? Always good. Alicia says, good morning, Jan and Ben. I've got these dies. I've not used them yet. I'm at work, but I've saved this in my masterclass folder. Lynn says, love the tie. Thank you. And Mary just saying, I would love to get a Gemini bundle. My die cutting machine is manual. It's a wonderful machine, but as I get older, an electronic one would make life wonderful. Today is the day to be doing that with a 25% discount. Kathy C's watching whilst working on Christmas cards. And Sarah says, Ben, it's 2 a.m. Oh, this is Sarah in Australia. So not crafting. I'm nice and cosy in bed, but I've saved the show. Well, hopefully, Sarah, and I mean this in the nicest way, we send you off to sleep in this show. It's, it's relaxing and laid back and not hectic like Jan's 10-minute challenge.
Oh my goodness.
You missed it on Wake Up Call. Go back and have a look. About half an hour in, you will love it. Right, shall we get started with the craft along?
I think we should. We should, yeah. So I've got all my bits and pieces at the ready. So just to double check, I've got 2 sheets of the A4 stamping card, and this is what we're going to make our card blank out of. We're going to cut this first. And then I've got a sheet of the silver mirror card there, and the black glitter card from our glitter card packs. And then I've got some scrap pieces to do some of the rest of the cutting with there. And then as far as the dies are concerned, I've got my Eastern trellis die, which we'll have a look at in a bit more detail. I've got my interchangeable sentiment there. And then I just do, these are a go-to stamp set. We should still have these on the website, I think. But this one's celebration words, and it's got all that happy birthday, anniversary, all that, and it had the happy new year in. So I've just masked out the happy and stamped the new year element, which I'll show you later on in the craft along. So as always, we're going to start off by using the guillotine and cutting some of the pieces that we're going to need for that card blank. So I've got my large guillotine at the ready because we're going to be working with A4 card stock there. Get the extension piece out there. Okay. And I'm first of all going to take those 2 sheets of white stamping card.
Right.
Now we're just going to make 2 very simple cuts on this one. So on the short edge, up against your guillotine, I just want you to pop that through, line it up at the 6-inch mark. Just if you're using our guillotine, then I tend to use the ridges here to just make sure that my cardstock's nice and straight. And then when you're happy with that, we're just going to cut that piece off that side, and that's all I'm going to do to that particular one. So this is going to be one part that we need. The thin scrap I'm going to put with my scrap pile. Okay. And then I'm going to do exactly the same to the second sheet. So again, that short edge buttered up against the top of your guillotine. Yeah. Get that left hand side onto the 6-inch line. Yeah. Just make sure it's nice and straight all the way down. Pop your finger guard and commit to your cut. So you should end up with 2 pieces that are exactly the same size.
Oh, I'm with you already, Jan.
Yep.
Yes.
Okie dokies. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to score those now so that you can see how this comes together. So I'm going to grab the scoreboard There is some more cutting to do,
Right.
but I thought I'll just show you how this is actually going to go together. So on the inches side on your scoreboard, then whether it's the Scoremaster or the Big Top Score, whichever you prefer,
Yeah.
I'm going to take one of those pieces, and I've got the long edge horizontal
Yeah.
and the short edge up to that left hand side. Make sure it's nice and snug and straight on that left hand side, and you're going to score at 6 inches. So nice vertical score line. And again, I tend to sort of do 2 or 3 rather than going heavy to start with, because there is a risk sometimes if you're going through the cardstock. So just do it once and twice and just repeat it till you've got a nice score line there.
Yep.
And then I actually want you to fold that one just together, and you think, oh Jan, you've made a mistake because it's not equal.
Yeah, it's not
That's
equal.
fine.
That's good news
okay,
for me.
so what I want you to do is take the shorter part of it, so this one that's slightly shorter,
Yeah.
and I want you to place that down on the scoreboard. So I've essentially got the fold now up to the left hand side of my scoreboard. This is the 6-inch square here,
Yeah.
and this is the bit that was falling a bit short.
Yes.
And then I just want you to score that now at 3 inches.
Right.
So from that original score line that we've just done and folded in half, across to the 3, and again I want you to pop a vertical score line at 3 inches. So we've got a 3-inch panel to start our gatefold, and one that's slightly less than 3 inch, but this is the one that we're going to cut the die cut edge into, so I'm not too worried that it's a wee bit smaller.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to leave that one as it is for now, and then we're going to do exactly the same to that second piece. So long edge horizontal,
Yep.
short edge buttered up against that edge of the scoreboard, and score at 6 inches first, straight down that centre line there.
Okay.
Nice and gentle, and then literally use that score line to fold your cardstock, and you'll just see there that it comes up that little bit. It's about 1/4 of an inch or so short at the bottom, so that's the piece that I want to lay flat on my scoreboard. The 6-inch square piece is up in the air, and where we folded it, butt that fold up to the edge of the scoreboard now,
Okay.
and then score at 3 inches. So both pieces are exactly the same. Okay. And then what I'll do is we'll fold this and show you how that card blank emerges. All right, so what I'm going to do now is secure those folds. So where we folded it in half,
Right.
just make sure that your edges are nice and neat, top and bottom, and when you're happy with that, you can secure that, burnish that centre fold into place. And then I've got the extra score line, a short bit on top here, and I'm just going to take that one and fold it back on itself. So it was flat, and I'm literally just going to fold it back on itself. And again, just make sure that that top and bottom edge are running flush with your card blank,
Yep.
and then burnish that fold in there.
Okay.
So this is going to be 1/2 of the card. You can see here we've got that opening mechanism, and if I bring my finished one in, you can see that we started to build up this side of the card here.
Yep.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
So then take your second piece,
Uh-huh.
and we're going to do exactly the same. So where we fold it in half to use it as a guide, make sure those edges are nice and straight again, and get that one burnished in place. Okay, and then again I've got that short side on top with my score line in the middle,
Yeah.
and I'm going to take that one and fold it back on itself as if you're opening it up. And again, just be mindful that the top and bottom's nice and straight, and then give that a nice good burnish so that you've sealed those folds in there. Okay, and then we've got one last thing to do to this section. So what we're actually going to do is take them with the folds opposite each other,
Yeah.
okay, and literally lay one piece on top of the other. So the two square sections will literally, when we get there, we're going to glue these two pieces together.
I see.
Now what you'll find happens is that you've got a gap down the centre of your card, and I want those to be able to meet. Again, if you look at my sample that I've made, I've got a nice where it butts up against each other and meets nicely. Now the reason for that is because we're laying one piece over the top of the other, we've got the equivalent of the score line actually taking up a little bit of room. So what I want you to do is to take the top one, grab your guillotine back, and on this outside edge here, not the folded side, the outside edge, that one's going to go towards the blade of your guillotine, and I literally want you to take about 1/8 of an inch off it. So I'm going to come back on my sizing guide. We started at 6 inches here. I'm going to come back 2 marks, if you're using our guillotine, to that 7/8 of an inch. Line it up and just take literally, and it is a little sliver.
So 2 lines back from the 6 off the
2 lines
fold.
back from the 6, and you'll see it is just a little sliver that we're taking off that edge, which is about the width of your score line that we've put in the other piece.
Yeah.
Okay. And then pop that guillotine to one side again. And then when we rotate this and pop it back in here, when you close it now, your 2 folded edges should meet up nicely and not have any gap in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Snug as a bug.
Yep. Now what I tend to do now, and I just realised I've not given you a pencil, Ben, so you might want to just pop over and do this bit. To make sure that I keep these in the right place, I tend to open up those 2 6 inches, put a cross on that one and a cross on that one, reminding me that those 2 are going to stick together. All right, I don't know whether you want to borrow that, Ben.
Okay, right.
Just to remember, which otherwise, if you get them the other way round when you come to stick it together, you've defeated the objective of cutting that sliver. They won't fit together. So I tend to just pop cross here, because I know that those 2 need to stick together, and this is going to make our lovely gatefold, double gatefold design there.
Yes.
Okay, so that's our card blank in place. All right.
Yes.
So literally where those 2 have gone to stick together, it just reminds me that that's the way that I need to do it, and I need to put glue on these 2 pieces that have got the crosses on, and nobody's going to see because those are going to stick together to make that flat base when we've finished. So that's our card blank at the ready.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to give everybody a chance to catch up with that now and make sure that we're all at the same place before we start cutting mats and layers.
All right,
okay,
well, whilst we're doing that, I'll read a few questions. I mean, I'm up with the pace so far, which is good news. Whether or not it's all going to come to it is promising, producer Georgina. It is promising, so I'm happy. Let's just read a few comments and a few questions coming in as well. Burgoyne Williams, Emma on Facebook says, I bought every day so far. Good job, hubby is at work when the parcel man comes. Yeah, because at least then you can hide the goodies. Sarah says on Facebook, lol, Ben, no offence taken. I usually do fall asleep. I'm sure Jan won't be offended either.
Not at all, my goodness.
It's 2 a.m. in the morning.
I can't believe we've still got your company, Sarah.
Kalesa says, hello all, popping in. Love to listen to Jan whilst I did my morning chores. And here's a good question. So Emma wants to know, can I ask, why do you use the scoreboard when the guillotine has a score on it?
That's a very good question, and I think that is just ingrained from my point of view. I've had the scoreboard longer than I've had the guillotine.
Yeah.
So I think it's just ingrained in me that that I tend to use my scoremaster. There's no problem with using your guillotine whatsoever if that's how you prefer to do it. It comes with the score tool. That is a very, very good point. But as I say, it's just habit with me because I've been using the scoreboard for such a long time. It's just something that I always reach for. But yeah, well pointed out.
Can you thread ribbon through these dies, says Alicia? I'm not so sure about that. They're not designed for that feature. No.
Have a go. You know, have a go. There's nothing to stop you having a go and see what it looks like. I wouldn't rule it out completely, but they're not designed in a manner that you're going to get that weaving in and out like the ribbon dies do. Those are designed specifically for that feature. But yeah, have a go. You know, there's nothing to stop you trying. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least you found out the answer there, yeah?
And one slightly off topic, but I'll ask it anyway because that's what we're here for. Brownie's Craft says, Jan, I love your top. Where did you get it from?
It's from one of our local stores, actually, that does clothing for the larger lady.
Right.
Yes.
It looks lovely, and it's very festive and sparkly, and very festive and quite sort of refined as well.
I do like a little bit of sparkle, I must admit. A girl can never have too much sparkle.
No, and they are, I love that so much.
And I've only got this one, so you might see it again next time I'm on.
Right. Whereas yours truly today, no Christmas jumper, but I've got an upside down Santa poking out on me tie. That's the full.
Very festive.
I mean, it's not too bad, is it?
That pop of red is just nice though for Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah,
he says he wasn't feeling it this morning. He's looking through the wardrobe. I'm not feeling it this morning. I think I'm just going to have a tie.
Yeah.
I like it. I like just that pop of red. It's very classy.
Thank you. Let's quickly, whilst we are giving you a chance to just catch up as well, talk about a few of the other items on the show. The paper library, this launched a little while back now, and I tell you what, when we launched it, so many of you jumped in and grabbed this, and I know lots of you bought it multiple times as well, simply for the fact the value for money was amazing. Maybe you're buying for friends and family too, but hundreds of these sold at full price, and today is the day where we are bringing this to you at the best price ever because we've never discounted this previously. Today is the day where we are going to discount it though. So you're going to get 10 collections of paper within your paper library itself, with 150 sheets in total, and I'll show you inside this, because what I love more than anything, if you're one of those people that likes to get organised, maybe you've been buying a lot of our Totally Tiffany goodies recently to get your craft room in order, this is brilliant because you've got all of these pockets to be able to keep your papers in, and of course once you've used them you can then store more of your 12 by 12s in here. Maybe you've got kind of sheets lying around the craft room, maybe you just want to transport projects from place to place. This is absolutely perfect for doing that, and the tabs that you've got in here you can even label up too. However, the real beauty about this, as we look through here, you've got the 10 collections of paper with 150 sheets in each, and it literally takes you through all sorts of different occasions, all sorts of different points of the year, and this is just, I'm going to have to take these off and show you them because the papers are absolutely gorgeous. It's funny that this one has come out first because this is my fave. The Halloween papers are just phenomenal. I mean, these are works of art in themselves, really. A nice size as well, Jan, for people perhaps who like to do their scrapbooking, like mixed media projects as well.
Yeah.
I mean, look at these papers.
And again, just because they're 12 by 12, there's nothing to stop you cutting into them. With a 12 by 12 sheet, you're going to get 4 6 by 6s.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to cut into a big sheet like that. I buy more 12-inch paper pads than I do the smaller ones, to be honest.
Really?
I'd rather have that aspect. And I know there's a difference in the proportion of the design on them when you're looking at a big paper pad as compared to a 6-inch one, but most of my paper pads are the larger ones, and as I say, I still cut them down if I'm wanting to work on a smaller project. But yeah, some of these are stunning, aren't they?
Oh, they're marvellous.
Anything that's got script on's got my vote.
Yeah, same for me.
Love the script
or like musical notation in the background. I absolutely love. This one's called Congratulations. I mean, there are certain ones in here, obviously like the Halloween, you're looking at the majority of those and going, yep, those would be used at that time of year. This one's called Congratulations, but I'm just looking at the designs and patterns that you've got on here. I mean, this is going to be for all sorts of different cards and projects. I'll just show you a few more. Maybe when we come back to this a little bit later on, we'll have a look at some others. Where's my other fave in here? There's one. Well, there's loads of Christmas in there. Where's the... Hang on. Hold the line, please, caller. Oh, maybe I didn't put it back in earlier on. Was it there? Oh, here it is. This is the one. Big celebrations. It's like the Stars and Stripes, this one.
Yep.
There's just so much in here. Basically, if you are looking for a collection which is going to allow you to create right throughout the year, you've got it, because this is the big celebrations. You've got the USA flag there, for goodness sake, the red, white, and the blue. You've even got fireworks.
Oh, look at that with the fireworks on. That's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, going on in here as well in a whole host of different colours, and even that looks like a little watercolour background.
That looks like one of my experiments when I'm doing the backgrounds, and it's like I said to keep them just in case you need them. You've got one ready made there, yeah?
Absolutely right. Should we do one more? We'll just do one more. Let's have a little delve in here, and let's do a Christmassy one, actually, because you've got two different Christmases in here. You've got your contemporary Christmas, but I fancy a little bit of the traditional Christmas. So I'm trying to be neat with these, because I know when Sarah gets these out, she just tears the bands off. I'm trying to keep it neat for our guys because otherwise they'll tell me off. So this is your sort of traditional reds and whites and greens with your poinsettias there.
Yeah.
You know, some of these you've got those frames in there too. Absolutely beautiful. There's a bit of musical notation for you.
Yep.
Love it. Really, really beautiful. So yes, 10 different collections, 15 sheets of paper within each. Basically, this is going to take you, I mean, again, you talk about
look at that one. Yep, love that one.
Almost looks like wrapping paper, that one.
Yep.
Yeah, this is going to take you right throughout the year for all of those celebrations, for all of those days. There's even like a St. Patrick's Day one in here. There's a set for autumn in here. There's loads. We'll have another proper look through that later on. However, you can pick it up now for just $64.79 or $71.96 if you're platinum. It's the best time to do it because it's the first time that we've given you a discount on this, and I know lots of you have jumped in and grabbed it today. Right, as I just pack all of this away, let us get ready for the next part of our craft along. I think everyone should have caught up. Do let us know, by the way, if you are crafting along, and make sure you get ready to send those pictures in at the end of the show. If we don't get a chance to show them in this show, we'll show them at the start of Creative Cravings. So just recap where we're up to, Jan, and then we'll get started.
So what we've done essentially is we've made our card blank. So we're going for that. If I show you the original one again, we've got that lovely double gatefold there, which means I've got that extension on the opening section here. So it opens out into that really nice long card. Now we've made that card blank, and these two pieces are going to stick together to form that centre, and you can see here that we've got that sort of gatefold effect coming on. So you should have those pieces that fit together. Just by taking that sliver off, you should have closed that gap here. Now normally I tend to work and cut all the mats and layers, but I'm going to change it up a little bit today, because what I want to do is cut into our card blank. So the next step that we're going to do is create these decorative elements down either side before we start thinking about sticking anything together, basically.
Okay.
So I chose the Eastern trellis, but they will all work. So if you have a different design in this collection, they will all do the same job. So I'm going to take mine out of there, and just for the benefit of anyone that hasn't actually seen these yet, you get sort of a compilation of dies that all work together. So you've got like that curved section there is one set, you get that lovely wavy section, which is your second set, and then on reverse you've got the straight ones, which we're going to use to start off with. But the idea is that the broader dies cut into your card.
Right.
So the only thing you might want to do is cut that decorative element into something absolutely fine. If you want it to be the edge of a design, we've given you a straight die, not a straight as in up and down, but just the cutting edge. Excuse me. So this one working together, you will get that beautiful design cut in, but you'll get the edge of your cardstock to echo that curve. It may be that you omit that one, and then you've got this lovely decorative edge here, which creates a further design. This edge stays attached to the card, the outside edge cuts, and that's what we're actually going to do. We're going to use the straight piece.
Okay.
So I want the piece that cuts into the cardstock together with the decorative edge. Now they haven't gone to the trouble of adding a straight edge with the metal work. We can do that on a guillotine, you can do it with a ruler and a craft knife. So where we've got these third pieces in the two curved designs, it's just two pieces. So don't think you've got a piece missing when you open these.
No.
The straight edge one is just a two-piece set. So what I want you to do then, we're going to need some low tack tape at this point. I always forget to put that on the list.
Oh, I ain't got any.
But I'm just thinking I bet I didn't send you any over there.
I've got some down here.
Have you got some?
Yep.
Yep.
You're all good.
I think we need to start and keep a little craft kit down there for you guys now.
No.
Yep. So here we go. We've got that lovely double piece. So I'm going to take one of them. Doesn't matter which one.
No.
I've took the top one here. And we're going to work on this sort of bit where it falls short here on the outside edge.
Yeah.
So I'm literally going to pull it open, and I'm working on this second piece that was just that little bit smaller than the other side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these two pieces. Now the larger one, it doesn't matter which way round it goes. This is a symmetrical design, so it doesn't matter which way.
Okay.
I just want you to pay particular attention to the border piece. If you have a close look at it, one side doesn't have a cutting edge and the other side does have that scalloped edge on it. So the scalloped edge wants to go to the outside edge of your card. and we're going to cut these both together. So I'm going to grab a couple of pieces of low-tack tape.
So the edge with the extra sort of cut, the cutting bit on the outside, did you say, yeah?
So if we just get our George to come and have a close look for us.
Here we go.
All right, just have a little look at what I'm saying here. Brilliant, thanks George. So you can see on the top edge here, the one furthest away from me, it's just plain die, there's no actual cutting edge. And then the cutting edge starts just like we're used to with our edgeables. You can see here, and it follows the design all the way around the bottom and finishes at the other side. I want you to make sure that that edge is on the outside, thank you George, the outside edge of your cardstock, because what you don't want to do is cut the other bit off.
No.
If you have it the other way around, it'll chop the edge of your card off. All right, now I'm actually going to pop these together and cut them together. So I'm lining up the little thin one is just a wee bit wider than your card. So I'm literally just having the same amount hung off each edge, and I'm lining that outside edge up with the outside edge of my card. So it's literally right on the edge of the card. And then you want to bring the second piece towards it, and this one's slightly shorter, so I'm looking here and I'm looking at the bottom to make sure that it's about equal, just by eye, I'm not measuring it. And then when you've got those in place, you want to make sure that there's a slight gap, and you can see the white cardstock here between the two dies. They don't want to be touching. And then once you're happy with those, use your tape and stick them in place. Okay, I've just moved mine a fraction there, so I'm just going to pop it back. And I've gone across the two dies and just onto the edge of my cardstock there. And I'm going to do the same at the bottom. Make sure you've got that little gap all the way down and you can see the white card. Tape the two dies together and then bring it over just to catch your cardstock. All right, on this side. So I've got those at the ready to cut now.
Okay.
And we're going to do this twice. We're going to do this edge, and then we're going to bring the second piece in, and we're going to do exactly the same on that second piece. All right, so for our first cut, take your plates, whatever it is you're using to cut with. I just happen to have still got my larger Gemini out here. All right, if you're using the smaller ones, and I know Ben's got the midi over there, literally all you will do is pop this in and leave that 6-inch square piece stuck out of the back of your
so
folder.
pop that,
And then insert this with the fold into your machine first, and leave this bit, it'll just follow it through.
Okay.
All right? I'm actually popping mine on there. So we're literally just going to pop it in there, pop the normal shims in mine for the Gemini or the Junior. Obviously you just need your plastic folder for yours, Ben. And then we're going to pass that through. And if you were watching me this morning, and you might want to do this as well, Ben, I'm going to post this into my Gemini. It's only going to cut that first little tiny bit, is the only bit that I need to cut. If I let the plates go all the way through my large Gemini, this monster is going to apply pressure to all that cardstock that's left over, and that's where you get that ruttling in your cardstock, because it doesn't know what to do with it. There's no die on there, so it's got to apply the pressure to the card. So I'm going to pop mine in, I'm going to listen for it clicking off that die, and then press the pause button. Now you might want to do the same, Ben. You might want to manually wind yours through until you'll feel the die go through the rollers, and then stop, and then wind it back out again to save it going all the way through. So here we go, we're going to pop this one in. I can hear it come off there and pause. So what it means is that the rollers and the pressure isn't applying any unnecessary pressure to the rest of the card. Then I'm going to press my reverse function, and it's basically just cutting that little edge. That's all we needed, that sort of couple of inch strip. All right, and you should be able to manage that with your MIDI. Has it cut?
It has.
Fantastic. So when we take that out, you can see now, look.
So I haven't got a bin again.
Oh, maybe we need to get you a bin, otherwise we'll be getting in trouble, won't we? So you can see there, just check the back and make sure it's cut all the way through. If it has, it just looks as if you've drawn that design on the back of your card. And then I'm going to turn it back over. And what I'm going to attempt to do is take those two dies off, but keep the tape attached to them. If you can, don't worry if you can't.
So they're in the same position for you?
Yeah, basically you don't have to line them all up again. So I'm literally just going to pull them off and try and keep them together. Don't panic if they come apart, we can stick them back again. It just saves a step there, okay? Pop those to one side for a second, and you can see there we've got that lovely decorative edge onto what will be the outside edge of my card. All right, now yes, it comes up a little bit shorter, but I'm not too worried about that. When you look at my sample, it's not a problem. I don't find that an issue that this one's a bit shorter, and it means that I can use my A4 cardstock without having to cut into, you know, anything bigger. All right, so that's piece number 1 with our decorative edge cut into that edge. I'm going to pop that to one side. Now, just as housekeeping, make sure that you've taken any little tiny pieces off your cutting plates, because that will affect your next cut. And then you will also need to make sure that all those pieces have been popped out of your die as well, because if you run this past the rollers again with the extra pieces of card in, you will find that it does affect the ability to cut.
Right.
So where the tape is, I literally just poke straight through the tape.
Okay.
So my tape's got little puncture holes in, but it doesn't matter, and I'm just literally taking all those pieces out with the pokey tool, and make sure that your die is totally clean before we use it that second time. All right, so just spend a second or two popping those pieces through. If you've got a die brush, you can use your brush. That's sometimes a wee bit quicker, but just to pop those pieces out and double check the inside of your die and make sure you can't see any cardstock in it before we do this procedure again. So I think I've got all mine there. Yeah, oh, one last piece, look, that's escaped the... So you just want to make sure that when you turn it over that there's no bits of cardstock left in there.
Roger that.
Yep, fantastic. So those are all rubbish. They can go ready for the bin.
I'm going to have to leave it on the counter because, as I say, last time Jake had to get the vacuum cleaner out and I got in a load of trouble. So I'll leave the mess on the counter and we'll clear it up afterwards.
So we've now got the second half. So I took my right hand side piece that had the cross underneath. I just took that one out first, and we've done this right hand edge. Yeah. We're going to do exactly the same down that left hand edge. So I want the other piece that we've not worked on yet. Yeah. I'm going to open it out flat, and then I'm going to pop this one, because we've still got this taped together.
Oh yes.
I'm just going to pop this one right up against that edge again. Just eyeball that edge die and make sure that you've got it centered as best you can, and then stick that one back in place. My tape's just torn a little bit there, so I'm going to add a little tiny piece to hold that in place. And I would definitely recommend taping them down when you're doing something like this, because the last thing you want is it to move and you end up with, you know, your die at an angle or missing part of it. So it is worth doing. And then again, I'm just going to flip my plate round, so for housekeeping I'm going to pop it back on my Gemini plate, and we're going to pass that through in the same manner. I'm going to let it go through to here, then pause it, and then reverse it out so that we're not applying unnecessary pressure to the rest of that cardstock. Okay. So again, the shims are going to go on there, my top plate on there, and I'm going to pass that through my Gemini. So when you're all ready, Ben, you should be able to do that same exercise with your MIDI.
I am. I'm just passing this through. Tracy's saying, love your tip, Jan, not to let your cardstock go all the way through when you only need to cut an edge.
Yep.
Tracy just saying, Ben and Jan, you both look fabulous. I'm still in my PJs drinking me coffee. Didn't sleep much, so I'm being lazy, enjoying the show.
Why not?
At a later date. And thank you to our Rachel, who's on the socials, who's sent through a round of applause. I don't know if that's for me or Jan or who, but we'll take it. Oh, blimey, that was a bit tough.
So again, I always double check first to make sure it's done the cut. And they're not particularly intricate, these, so there's no reason that you should need a metal shim or anything to get them to cut. And then once you're happy with that,
yes,
you can then
come on,
take away that edge piece. That one's rubbish, that little skinny edge that it's cut off.
Yep.
Release that tape.
Release the tape.
And again, I find it easier sometimes to just roll it back rather than tear it back.
Oh, okay.
But we are going to put a matten layer on there anyway, so don't worry if it does snag a little bit of your cardstock. It's not the end of the world, because we're going to cover this section with a little thin matten layer to decorate. So again, once we've got that tape, we can lift that edge piece, and it doesn't matter if you separate these now because we've done the cuts there. Okay, get rid of all that sticky tape, and then again, just make sure.
Yeah, get the bits out, a couple of little bits.
Oh, I've got tape. There we go. Took to me.
So I can untape my dies now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they come apart now. And again, I prefer to take that cardstock from the die rather than pulling the die off the card.
Yeah.
You've got a little bit more control and you can see what's happening that way. Whereas if you've got it this way and you lift your die off, sometimes there is actually, you can snag it. Yeah. So don't worry too much about those now. We don't need to worry about them being clean. We can do that later. Make sure that all these pieces have come out there. And I've just got a little bit of residue from where my tape was. So somewhere in my bag, I've got I've got a pencil eraser somewhere lurking in the bottom of the bag. Oh, I can't find it. I'll come back to it in a second. But yeah, I was just going to rub that off. Yeah. Okay. So again, when I grab these two pieces together now, you can see, I put my crosses back together so that I know which way around they go. And you've got those lovely two decorative edges now. I'm just going to reinforce that centre fold again because where it's been through the machine, it does flatten it a little bit. And you can see we've got those lovely outside elements at the ready now to do our reveal on the inside.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to pop all that to one side.
Okay.
Make sure everybody's with us, and then we're going to start cutting some mats and layers to fill that that piece up.
Good stuff. Yeah, I'm sort of there with you actually.
Good.
Which is good news.
I have every faith in you, Ben.
Yeah. That's mine. I'm just popping it for you. There you go. Look.
Yeah.
Hey.
Fantastic.
Hey. Awesome. Right. I'll pop that to one side like Jan says just for a second. I am making a right old mess over here. But let's just have a look at a few more comments coming through. Nee says, round of applause for Ben, who is always game with taking crafting on. I love it. I honestly love it. I love it giving it a go. I feel like I'm getting better and better each time I do it. And a round of applause for Miss Jan for always leading us on craft alongs with utmost precision and dedication. Thank you both. You inspire us, says Nee.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much, guys. I thoroughly enjoy it. I really do.
I do, and hopefully, you know, when you've got Jan, who's obviously, you know, an expert in the field, leading you, giving you all the hints and tips, and answering the questions should you have any. Rachel says you're all up to speed and you're all good, which is nice. But you've got that side of things, and then you've got this guy here proving that craft is for everyone. Anyone can give it a go. No, anyone can give it a go. Right? You can have fun with this. If it goes wrong, it doesn't matter. But if it goes right, I mean, you literally feel like you're on top of the world. And I feel like I'm upskilling all the time when I'm in the presence of Jan. Always upskilling. Let's give you a chance to catch up whilst we're doing that. Whoa, let's have a quick look at some of the ink pads we've got on the show for you as well. These are brilliant. So your opaque Harmony ink pads, pigment. Great for you if you love to do your blending. Great if you want to have that sort of longer open time and you want to be able to do your heat embossing. That's where these are absolutely brilliant. And we've popped together a nice selection of colours for you in this deal. So it should be £44, $62, but everyone's going to save £15 or $15, $23.60, $38 is your platinum price. So you're going to have your Oasis in this collection. You've got your Pumice, the pale fig. You've got your Sandstorm, Spring Meadows, you've got the Grasshopper, there she is everyone, come on, ooh, Frosted Jade, you've got the Pink Tulip, and then lastly in this bundle you have your Straw Bale, so a nice selection of your opaque pigment ink pads with a nice deal for you today as well, £23.60, $38 is the deal on that. Also on the show, the luxury cardstock collection. Now, in this set, we have got 120 sheets of beautiful cardstock. And what I love about this is you've got a little bit of everything in here. If I show you first of all the luxury mix packs that we've got in this collection. So you've got 30 sheets within each of these in a lovely range of colours. So you've got the ice blue, the gold and the silver, 10 sheets of the different types of cardstock within each of the bundles here. So you can see, if we take the ice blue for example, the ice blue, you've got mirror card, you've got 10 sheets of that, 10 sheets of the beautiful matte mirror, and then you've got 10 sheets of the glitter card included as well. So it's a lovely mix, some great colours there as well for your Christmas crafting, but then all year round, think about how many times you're going to be incorporating your gold cardstock and your silver cardstock in. So that is 90 sheets in total that you're going to be getting there. 10 sheets of the glitter again here, 10 sheets of the mirror, 10 sheets of that really sort of beautiful matte mirror included as well. Then on top of that, we're also going to throw in 30 more sheets of your Centura Pearl in a lovely collection of colours. So 10 sheets of your turquoise, 10 sheets of your solar green as well. Solar gold. I said green because I've got green here. That's definitely gold, not green. And then you've got 10 sheets of your green included too. So altogether, that is a bumper collection of luxury cardstock for just £26.39 or $43.99. Everyone saves 20%, that's another 20 if you are platinum. One more item to quickly show you. Some beautiful 12 by 12 cardstock. Oh wow, I remember this one when we launched. I think it was one of the first products that I did, and it's always been hugely popular. The Summer Sunset and the Decadent Decor paper pads. These are glorious because they've got that beautiful sort of sheen finish to them, and then you've got your kind of patterns one side, and then again more of your sort of look like they've done like watercolor technique on the background.
Sort of, yeah, love it.
This is again one of my favourites because I look
very
at,
retro. It reminds me of 1970s wallpaper.
70s, yeah, absolutely. And like,
our carpets even.
Yeah, that was pretty much I think the wallpaper we had in our living room when I was really little. But it's a lovely collection, and as you say, like some of the floral detail that you got, I'd love that on like a funky shirt. It's like
I can see you in that. Yeah, absolutely.
But as you can see, hopefully you can see that beautiful sheen coming through. There's some glorious patterns, and as I say, the reverse of these as well is absolutely stunning. You've got 30 sheets within your Summer Sunset. That comes with a selection of matching ribbon for you as well, and then on top of that, you've got the Decadent Decor again with that beautiful sheen finish to it, and some really wonderful colours, some sort of Art Deco designs there as well, and some great pattern effects also. So there's 30 sheets.
That one would make a great shirt as well, wouldn't it?
Which
the
one?
Paisley one.
That one?
That one, yeah. I could see you in that one as well.
Oh, next year maybe. Yeah, so some great designs, great colours in here as well. And on top of all of that, you're also going to get the caramel and cream ribbon included. So all of those, £27.60 if you're platinum, or $35.60. Now, lots going on today as far as our 12 days of Craftmas is concerned, because we're giving you 25% off our Gemini machines only for today. This runs out 8 o'clock tomorrow morning here in the UK, 3 a.m. tomorrow Eastern time. And it's whether you're going for electronic, you've got 25% off. If you're perhaps looking to get yourself what I've been using today, a MIDI, 25% off. There's loads and loads of deals for you. We've even got 25% off the foil press as well. Get to the website today, get yourself a machine. Maybe it's the first one that you're going for and you're looking for the Junior, for example. There you can see the details. That 25% off is for today and today only. Whatever you're looking for, you're adding to your range, you're buying your first one, get involved today. And whilst we get ready for the next part of the craft along, here is a little video which will give you all of the features about your Gemini Junior. Lots of lovely comments coming through. Thank you for all of these. Tracy says, I love Jan. I think she has a vast wealth of knowledge to share with all of us. Treasure Heart says, I'm enjoying listening and watching whilst practicing my tri-blend colouring. And Clarice on Facebook says, I love listening to Jan. Her voice is soothing and explains everything clearly. Just to ask as well, a few of you were asking about the Happy New Year, which we're going to be adding later on. That was a slightly different thing that you did, wasn't it? Which we'll come on to.
What it was, I'll just quickly show you again now. What it was the interchangeable sentiments. I looked at this and I chose the one that's the happy. So mine's actually the butterfly foliage one, and it's got happy birthday, happy Easter, happy thoughts. Sadly, it didn't have a happy new year. So what I've done with mine was I've cut it out as normal. If I just tilt it there, you can see. And then I've snipped the happy part away.
Yeah. And
cut off the birthday bit, and I've just stamped. I found a stamp in my stash that said Happy New Year, masked off the happy, stamped New Year, fussy cut it, and just replaced it where it should have said birthday. So we're going to create our own sort of hybrid, for want of a better word there, to make it read what we wanted it to read. You know, if you want to make this as a birthday card, then you could still leave it with the happy birthday in, or one of the other sentiments that's in there. It's just that I was going along that New Year theme, and it was my way of sort of making it fit. So that's how I've arrived at it, and I just happen to have this set which has got a Happy New Year stamp in here. This one's called Celebration Words. It's been out quite a while now. It should still be on the website, but it's got Happy New Year. So I've just masked off the happy and just used the New Year, which if we get time towards the end of the show I can show you that, but I want to concentrate on that construction side. So the next bit that we're going to do is create the mats and layers. So we need the square one for the centre. Then we're going to need two that are slightly smaller for these side pieces, and then two that are smaller again to just complement those pieces that we've die cut. So we're going to start cutting into, first of all, the silver sheet of Miri card is going to be our mat layers. Okay, and again, I always think about maximising what you're going to get out of a sheet of card, because I don't like wasting it, and those little tiny scraps, you know, you keep them for an age and then think, oh, I've got too many, I can't cope with it. So yeah, just think about how you're cutting into it. So the first one that we're going to need is a mat layer to go inside the back here. So we started at 6 inches square. I come down in 1/4 inch increments, so we're going to cut 5 3/4 inches square. So I've turned it on the long side, and I'm going to come to 5 3/4 inches and take a piece off there down the width of the card. Okay, now all the mats and layers all the way through, if I turn this sideways, the mat layers are all 5 3/4. So regardless of the width, they're all the same depth. So from top to bottom, 5 3/4. Okay, so we're going to spin this one round now onto the long side, and we're going to take off a 5 3/4 inch piece to make this one a square. So that's my first cut there, and that's going to fit nicely into the back of the card there to make that first mat layer.
So that cut
5 3/4 square. Yep.
Right, yeah.
Okay. And then the piece that's left over here just happens to be, we'd already cut it at 5 3/4, so the height remains okay. So the next ones are these inside pieces. Now if you have a look here, it's not quite wide enough to do this piece. If I just lift it there, it's not quite wide enough, but it is wide enough to do one of my edges. So again, without wasting any, I'm just going to cut this down to make that thin strip, which measures 1 3/8. Now the 1/8 marks are basically, if you count from the 1, if you're using our guillotine, it's split into 1/16 of an inch. So you're going to move, to get to 3/8, you want 2, 4, 6 of the marks, and you should come up just before 1.5 inches. And then make sure that everything's nice and straight. Use that grid line to make sure that this line is straight, and take that piece. And this is going to create the mat layer for one of these pieces here at the front, like so. All right, so 1 3/8. All right, so if you count the little tiny lines, you're 2, 4, 6 along, and it'll bring you up just before the 1.5 inch mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I realise my eyesight is even worse than I thought.
Oh,
it was.
bless you.
Okay.
Now the skinny bit that's left isn't wide enough to do any more with, so I'm just going to pop that to one side so I don't get it mixed up and keep the others together, all right? So the half that we had left now, if you measure your short edge, it should be just over 5 3/4 of an inch, just a smidge over.
Yes.
So the first thing I'm going to do is bring it back in line with the 5 3/4 and just take that smidge. Literally is just that little smidge off the edge to get rid of it.
Okay.
So we've now got a second piece that's the right height now to do the rest of those layers. Okay. So I need 2 pieces that measure 2 3/4. And when I've cut all these, I'll write you the measurements on the back so that you can take your screenshots again. So the first piece, I've got the long edge on the top of my guillotine.
Yeah.
I'm going to feed it through the finger guard and line it up at 2 3/4 inches.
Okay.
And make a cut. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is going to be one of the inside mats and layers to go on that inside section here.
Yes.
And we need another one of those. So we're going to do the same again, keep it in the same orientation because we know this is 5 3/4. I'm going to pop it under the finger guard and again line it up at 2 3/4 so that we've got 2 identical pieces.
Yeah, I'm getting quicker at this.
Yep.
And it's working.
And then your piece that's left,
yes,
we've got plenty now to make another one of these little skinny pieces.
Ah, I see.
So this was the 1 3/8.
Yes.
So counting past the 1, 6 of the little marks, make sure it's nice and straight, and you should end up with 2 of that one. And then your other piece on your scrap pile. So what I'm going to do now, just while you're finishing off cutting, Ben, is put the sizes on there for everybody, so that you can take a screenshot if you wish. So the first one was 5 3/4 square.
Does anyone else stop breathing when they're crafting? Sorry, I've just taken a massive breath. It's like when you craft, make sure you breathe. As my tip today. As my tip.
Okay, and then the little 3/4 by 1 3/8. So any of you that's wanting to screenshot there, you can see that's the order. So we've got the central piece. So we just need one of those times 1. Yep, and then the other 2, we need to do 2 each. So if I leave that there like that now, you can do your screenshot and you've got that recorded there. If either whether you're crafting along later or if you wanted to repeat the project, you've got that ready. So those are our matte layers for the silver. Now we need to come down 1/4 of an inch and we're going to make those layers to go on top, which is using that black glitter card. So I'm going to bring the guillotine back in again.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're going to do the same again. So I'm going to rotate it onto that long side and I'm going to come down another 1/4 of an inch. So we're down to 5 1/2 inches this time.
Yes.
So the first cut is going to take a 5 1/2 inch panel off the long one. And then I'm going to rotate that and make that 5 1/2 inches both ways. Okay. And this one's going to map nicely now onto that silver one that we've just cut, and you'll have a nice little 1/8 of an inch border.
I do!
Yep, fantastic. Yes. So pop that one in the middle then.
Excellent news.
And then we also need to make layers to go over the top of these other 4 pieces that we had left.
Okay.
All right, so the piece that we've just cut was 5 1/2. We've already done that. All right, because we're actually coming down in size now, we can actually make our next layer out of this one. So this one wants to measure 2 1/2 inches this time.
2 1/2.
So 2 1/2, and it's literally just taking that sliver off the end,
slither, isn't there? Yeah.
and that one's waste. So this is one of our panels. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the piece that was left, again, I'm going to keep it the longest line vertical.
Yeah. And
I'm going to cut that down to 5 1/2 inches again because that was our height. All right, that's on the scrap pile.
5 1/2. Yep.
Yep. And then now when we rotate this, we can cut the rest of our pieces because we know it's all the right height. So we need a second one of these that measured 2.5. So I'm going to pop it under that finger guard again.
Yeah.
And take that down to create 2 of these. 2.5 inches, yep. So I'm going to pop those with my silver layers, and then we need to create that skinny layer to go over those little shiny pieces that are going to go on the front there. So we're going to come down again, and this one really is a sort of a, I apologise about the 8th, it's just the way it landed. So again, keeping that orientation the same way so that your 5.5 inches is tall.
Yeah.
And this time it's 1 1/8. So look for your 1 inch line, and then you're going to come 2 of the little tiny marks past it. Make sure that everything's nice and straight. Use those lines as a guide if you're using our guillotine. And you just want that nice little sliver there. Well, I'm saying sliver, that little piece there that is literally going to be the matte layer to go on top. You can just see that silver around the edge there. So it creates an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around, and we need to do that twice. So 1 1/8, and we've got all our matte layers at the ready. And then you've got a little piece left over. We'll come back to this later. Okay, so keep that with all your scrap pieces. So again, while you're just finishing off then, I'm going to write those sizes on here again for everybody so that they can take that screenshot. So your square piece was 5.5 by 5.5, and we need 1 of those. That was the big section. Then we had the 2 side sections, which were 5.5 by 2.5 inches, and we needed 2 of those. Yep. And then we had our little skinny bit that was 5.5 by 1 1/8, and we needed 2 of those. So again, if I line those up for you there, you can do your screenshot and you've got your matte layers for those.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yes.
Fabulous. Right, what I'm going to do then is start and pop some of them together. So I want you to leave the 2 square pieces alone for now, because we're going to do some die cutting on that one. So pop those to one side.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, the remaining 4, you can stick your mats and layers. So the glitter card is going to go over the mirror card.
Yeah.
To create nice mats and layers there. Now you can choose whether you want to use a tape pen, whether you want to use wet glue, whether you prefer to use a double-sided tape, whatever your go-to is there, and get those stuck together. And then we'll sort of regroup when we've got all those stuck together, Ben, ready to start to carry on.
All right, well, I'll stick together in a minute because I feel like I'm sort of there, and I'll just recap as well for those of you that are catching up on what you're going to get within the collection. Hopefully you're having a lot of fun with us. Hopefully you're crafting along. I haven't seen anyone sort of go, oh, we're miles behind. Everyone, I think, is up with us. I must just say, by the way, there's a couple of birthdays. A very happy birthday to Kathy Myers, who's watching us on Facebook. Kathy, happy birthday. They're shouting happy birthday, George Squared from the gallery. And also, I believe, Beth Fralix on YouTube, it's your birthday today as well, so happy birthday!
Fantastic, many happies to you all.
Happy returns to you all, and yeah, thank you for watching us on your birthdays. Make sure you give yourself a little treat today if it is your birthday. If you've got some birthday spends, think about maybe jumping in and grabbing the Builder Border die collection. All 4 of these sets you're going to get. They are stunning, and again, this is the elegant daisy chain, and hopefully you can see as we're just using the Eastern trellis, you've got your curved die, you've got your wavy, and then your straight, and then all of the other different dies to be able to use these with the different edges. So if you want to add more detail in, you can. If you just want to cut these straight into your cardstock, you can. If you just want to go with these with a straight edge, you can. It's entirely up to you how you configure the dies, of which you're going to get 8 in the collection. You've got the delicate hearts included as well. You've also got the beautiful Eastern trellis, which is the one that we are working with currently. Again, you've got the wavy, you've got the curves, and then also the straight die included. And then lastly is that beautiful Moroccan trellis. All of those are included in this bundle. If you go for the bundle, you're also going to receive 10 sheets of our cardstock as well in this beautiful lavender colour. Just here it is. sending Sarah in Australia to sleep. I think I've sent George the joystick to sleep today. So there it is, the lavender. Apparently he was messing around with his joystick. He's getting all the different shots ready. Sorry, you've thrown me now. Yes. What I was going to say is you can go for the full collection. However, if you want to go on a multi-buy, you can do that as well. You can get 2 for $29 or 2 for $39. It's entirely up to you, but the best way to go is to go for that full bundle to get that amazing discount and to get the extras. And these are just like different ways to show you how you can combine all of the different elements within this collection. I love this one so much. Beautiful Valentine's card, again using lots of different elements of the beautiful hearts collection that you've got. Almost looks like a little frilly shirt, that, doesn't it?
It's gorgeous, isn't it? And I love that you can create all those different aspects with that one die set.
Yeah.
Depending on how you mix and match those dies, whether it's a straight edge or a decorative edge. Really cleverly thought out.
And that one again looks to me like a straight edge here.
Yep.
And using the decorative edge on the edge of the card, just really superb. This one here with the Celebrate, again using the straight edge to create the panels, and then the curve to create the kind of latch over the centre, which is phenomenal. It's so cute, and they lend themselves to so many different styles of card, and they look so super different depending on the card cardstock that you use. I mean, that's phenomenal. So that's cut twice, isn't it?
Yep. So little bit like we did this morning, and then pop some acetate behind just to keep that shape. But yeah, that looks gorgeous with the navy and the lemon there, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then again here, I mean, using it multiple ways, kind of using it on the top. I don't know why I'm going further and further forward here. Let's bring it back then, it's easier.
Bring it back now, Ben.
Using it on the
Two
top.
steps.
And slide to the left, slide to the right. Using it on the top and the bottom of the card, but then also
that looks gorgeous, doesn't
using it on the stopper.
It makes it look like lace, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really gorgeous.
Fantastic.
I'll just show you one more.
And I love that they mix and match with whatever you've got in your stash. I mean, that was decoupage with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll mix and match with pretty much anything, won't they? Think about those lovely foam flowers with them as well.
Look at the Z fold.
Yep.
So clever. The possibilities are...
You wouldn't think it, would you? You think of, something that goes on an edge has got to go on an edge. But when you look at something like that, very creative. And
then just one final one, using the Beautiful collection here again, using
that black's gorgeous, isn't it?
Darling.
It just looks like black lace on the edge, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. No, not that black lace. £43.17 for the full collection of £56.88. Right, the paper library. Let me show you this, right? God dear. This is why I don't always craft along at the same time when I'm this side of the studio, because I am making a right old mess. The paper library. Oh, I'll stick those together in a second. They said men can't multitask. Right, the paper library. Best ever price we've done this for, because we've never discounted it previously. We've sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. I've no doubt that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more are selling right now because we've discounted it by 10% for everybody, less another 20 if you're platinum. Basically, what you have got right here, I've done it the other way around here. You've got a beautiful bag to contain all of your papers in, and then 10 collections of 15 sheets within each collection, giving you a 150. Now, I showed you the congratulations and Halloween here earlier on, plus the big celebrations. But the point about this library is, if I just flick through some others, I showed you that Christmas one as well. You get this amazing paper library. So again, if we open that one up, you can see how many of your papers you can store in here. You can label them all up as well, but within it, you get papers for all kinds of occasions. This is the point, year round, thinking of you. 15 beautiful papers within that collection. You've also got, I'll flick through a few of these, new baby. Shall we have a look at that one? There's been a few new babies in the building here at Crafters recently. So let's have a look. So again, as we just go through here, all 12 by 12, all beautiful designs. And actually, Dan, I mean, this is, again, labelled new baby to kind of, I suppose, help you out if you are thinking about, what colours can I use? But I'm looking at these for all sorts, really.
Pretty much, yeah. It's quite generic, isn't it? It's like, I know we've sort of put them into categories for you, but there's no reason,
There's
a couple in there that you could have used for spring, Mother's Day, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even children's birthday cards with the little characters on.
Yeah, really cute.
Yeah.
I mean, those are super, super cute with the elephants and the giraffes and the beautiful rainbows on. So you've got New Baby. As I said, we've already looked at Christmas. We've already looked at celebrations. We've looked at Halloween. There's a gorgeous, let's show you this one because this really is beautiful. The Autumn Fall collection. Again, if you love
that's gorgeous, isn't it?
those deep autumnal oranges. I mean, look at that.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Gorgeous. Again, 15 sheets in this particular collection. I'm thinking again, you know, matching this up with your Halloween collection potentially, but if you like to make those autumnal fall cards, really rich, beautiful, deep colours in that autumnal range. Again, lots of kind of different patterns in there, your checks, your ginghams. That one's almost a bit like a Hessian effect that you've got going on there. Let's show you one more. There's a St Patrick's Day one in there somewhere. There it is. St Patrick's Day. Is that March?
March the 19th, I want to say.
March the 17th.
17th.
Is it?
Close, not quite. Close, but no, what was it?
No.
Close, but no.
Cigar,
that's
banana.
the one.
And St Patrick's Day, obviously big in Ireland, sort of bit bigger in the UK, bigger in England rather than it is with St George's Day. But St Patrick's Day big in the US as well, isn't it? But you can see some really gorgeous designs. And again, yes, St Patrick's Day, because you've got the beautiful green colours running through, but you've got some lovely papers that you will use right throughout the year in all sorts of different crafts. Yes, St George's Day, April the 23rd. But there you go. I've not shown you everything within that, and we've looked at it twice. The point is, it's massive. You've got a huge collection. You've got 150 sheets in total, plus, of course, the library to house it all in. It's the best time to buy it because we're giving you a 10% discount. First time we've done a discount, best price yet. $64.79 or $71.96 is the deal on that collection. I need to get sticking me mats and layers together, so maybe we can just recap, Jan, where we're up to and move on to the next part.
Yep, so you've just got those 4 pieces to mat and layer, Ben, so that should only take a second or two before we move on. I've literally stuck all mine together now, so though I said to leave these 2 squares, don't stick those together yet because we're going to die cut into one of these. So I'm keeping those to one side, and then I've actually got my 2 panels that are going to fit on the insides of the card here, like so. And then I arrived at these measurements from when I did my sample, and these are just the little skinny ones that are going to fit alongside that decorative edge at the front. So now we've got all these bits lying around, I think we can get this stuck together and then work on that centre feature.
Okay.
So while Ben's just sticking those together, we'll just go slow with them, Ben.
Yeah.
I want you to actually pop your card together. So if you did the markings like I did at the beginning, we're literally going to pop these 2 X's together. So this time I'm flicking to my wet glue and I'm going to use the all-purpose for sticking my cardstock together. So all over the back of the one that has the X on.
Okay.
All right. And we're going to stick that to the other side that's got the X on the other piece. And that's going to make that 6-inch square panel at the back. Okay, so that's why I've gone to wet glue, because it gives you some time to maneuver, because what you want to do when it's closed is make sure that these 2 pieces fit together nicely, but they don't overlap. So once you've got those in place and you know that these 2 close and they just match edge to edge nicely, you can then press the rest of this and spread that glue out underneath. So just double check that you've got a nice line top and bottom here, so that it's all lined up nice and neat at the top and the bottom. But if these 2 meet in the middle, everything else should be pretty square. Okay. So that's actually got our card blank in one piece now, and you should end up with this sort of shape.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue with the collal glue and stick these panels in. So the 2 pieces that we made for these inside panels, I'm going to stay with that same collal. If you prefer your tape pen, it will do the job. If you like to do tape, you can use the finger lift tape. Everything has its purpose and you use what suits you. The reason I like the collal is it just gives you that little bit of time to wriggle everything into place, and when it sets, it sets really firm, and also it almost gives the impression as if you've got another layer of cardstock in there, because you get that nice rigidity, which when you want something to stand up, it really gives it some strength. So again, just make sure that all that glue's spread out underneath, and then I'm going to do the same at the other side. So again, staying with the collal all-purpose, just pop some on the back, and there is a little bit of a learning curve as to how much glue is enough. And I think we're all guilty. I know I was guilty of this when I first started. I used to ice it like a cake, thinking I don't want it to fall apart. But then you get that awful seepage coming out of the sides, that we tend to refer to as the mayo effect. So there is a little bit of skill involved in determining how much is enough glue. But I would say less is more always.
Because I've heard that as well of people who sort of put almost too much on, and then it hasn't stuck properly, and then they've added even more to try and get it to stick.
Part of the secret is making sure it's all spread out underneath as well, rather than just slapping it on and leaving it there. Just make sure all that glue underneath, if you're using a wet glue, is nicely spread out underneath there. And then I'm going to close my card, and these two little skinny panels are going to stick on the front to line with that lovely decorative edge that we've made. So again, just enough, but not too much. And then we're going to pop these one each side of that centre fold, just eyeballing about the same distance from top and bottom, leaving that nice little white edge. You can just see here I've left a little white border in the centre there, and get that one spread out underneath. And then we're going to do the same with that other centre front one. So at least we've got all those panels together. We shouldn't have anything lying about now. The only bit that we've got left are those two square centres, and we're going to work on those next, because I'm just conscious of the time. I don't know where the time goes when we start with these classes. Honestly,
I'll say it again, I said it before, is that my time over this side of the studio and I'm just presenting and chatting to you guys goes quick. But when I join in and craft with you, the time
just
seems
disappears.
To go like doubly quick. How on earth there's nearly an hour and a half gone? I've no idea. No idea.
So you can see there we've got those nice two panels on the front now with the silver mats. We've got our inside layers. And what we can do actually is we can stick the silver layer. We're just going to work on that main black glitter square. So we can stick the silver one in. So again, I'll stay with that same glue. And just pop some on the back of that layer. That's going to be our matte layer. Then we're going to work on the glitter card next. So again, just some on the back of there. Whoops. And that one's going to go, and just leave a nice little white border again. And just sort of eyeball, you know, you're looking for these to be of a similar line all the way across with your edges. Same at the bottom. So you've got about the same distance on all of them. And then you can just wriggle that into place. All right, and then make sure that everything's nice and flat. And we'll leave that to dry while they work on the next bit. Yeah, it is really, really shiny, isn't it? It's like, you can see, oh, who's that?
Oh,
that's not a flattering look, is it? You nearly got all my chins in there then.
Woo! Yeah.
So
imagine if you open your card up and you saw this. That's not a card you'd want, is it not?
Woo! Your ears and my chin, it was like
all the mirror.
Delightful.
Hopefully we're going to make the card look better than that on the inside.
Yes.
Yeah, good news.
Yes, we're going to do some more work on there next.
Let's take a bit of a pause. I'm having so much fun with this. Hopefully you are at home as well. Do you know what? I'm so pleased with what I've done here. I'm looking at it close up. It's a little bit wonky in places, but actually, considering that we're doing all of this,
I know. Multitasking over there really well. Yep.
Let's give you some chance to catch up if you need that chance, and let's just chat more about our Gemini machines as well. Just a few of you, Dana, just saying thank you, Jan, for the measurements. I love that you provide that. It helps me so much. Hi everyone, says Caroline. Thought I'd try and tag along for the last hour. I got an Echo show last week. An Echo show, and got it all set up. So I'm commenting on her whilst watching the show on the Echo for the first time. You're commenting, and she's writing your comment for you. Is that what you mean? That sounds amazing.
Incredible.
Like the Daisy design, says Deborah. You want that paper library, says Deborah. The paper is beautiful. Alice says, Ben, you are great at multitasking. Thank you. And we've got lots of laughing emojis at our little hall of mirrors there. But let's talk about our 12 days of Craftmas, because today is day 8, where we're giving you 25% off all of our Gemini machines. The only machine that you won't get that deal on is the rose gold. However, we are including this time, which I don't think we did during Black Friday, is the foil presses included. So if you're after your first machine, if you are after a electronic machine because you want to kind of move up from a manual, or if you want a manual to go with your electronic, now is the time to shop. Do it before 8 a.m. tomorrow morning here in the UK, 3 a.m. Eastern time, because the deal will change as of those times. And machines that you can get this deal on are like the Gemini. Here it is, you can see it. So all you have to do is get onto the show page, 25% off. You can see in that red little button there, take advantage. So whether you're upsizing, whether you are expanding, whether you're just going, as I say, from manual to electronic, the deal's there on all of our machines. If you're buying your first die cutting and embossing machine from us today, then it is a brilliant, brilliant shop, because they won't be 25% off tomorrow. So grab those deals right now. And listen, whilst we just take a little bit of a break, get ready for the kind of, I think, the home stretch on this this craft along. Here's a little video which will explain more about the Gemini machine, 25% off.
This is Gemini, one of the fastest, quietest electronic die cutting and embossing machines on the market. Its industry-leading high-pressure system delivers fantastic results from intricate dies and folders, all at the touch of a button. Its oversized opening and platforms provide for edge-to-edge cutting of US letter and A4 size with thin metal dies, allowing you to cut materials such as thin cardstock, vinyl, craft metal and fabric. No cranking needed, as it will move the plates through automatically and quickly, which means you may spend less time on preparation and more time on inspiration. The Gemini has optical switches, making it hands-free and fully automated, with a built-in auto-reverse function for protection. It's easy to use, so you're always in control. Its sleek low-profile design makes it a superb addition to any craft workspace. It has built-in handholds, meaning you can easily take it anywhere. The Gemini is a universal die cutting and embossing machine that works with the majority of all leading brands of thin metal dies and embossing folders. All of the platforms that you need come included in the box, as well as a thick rubber embossing mat for intricate detail work on your dual-purpose cut and embossed dies. The addition of the metal cutting plate allows you to cut intricate dies in a single pass through the machine and enables you to cut multiple layers of fabric. For a perfect cut every time, you need Gemini, the electronic die cutting and embossing machine made by crafters for crafters.
There you go, details of our Gemini, 25% off all of our machines, but only for today as our 8th day of Craftmas continues. Right, we are ready. We're going to have to motor on into the last half hour, so if you are ready, we're ready. Jam, where do we need to go?
So the black square of glitter card, which is our matte layer for the inside of our card here. We need that piece now. We're going to work on that one next. We're going to come back to our die set, and this time I want the curved edge. All right, and again I'm going to take that lovely decorative one with the trellis work in, and then that little scalloped edge one. So I'm leaving the plain one. I don't need that one for this particular project. And then we're going to sort of do similar to what we did last time. So again, you're going to need a couple of pieces of your low tack tape at the ready. And then we're going to pop these. So again, I tend to line my card up with the craft mat, with the glass mat if you've got one there. And then I want this one to be virtually, and again, just make sure that you've got that external cutting edge on the outside edge of your card, like we did with that first set. And again, I'm looking top and bottom so that I've got approximately the same amount overhanging top and bottom. Okay.
I haven't got a curved edge in my set.
You haven't got a curved edge?
I've got a wavy one and a straight one. I might have to borrow yours in a minute.
How rude.
I know.
Right, let me just do mine. That's then, right. And then you can... and again, I'm going to take that intricate one nearly all the way up to it, but making sure I can still see some of the black card.
Yeah.
And then literally tape across the dies onto your cardstock. So all the way across, making sure that they're all nice and secure. and then I'm going to pass that through the Gemini.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so again, I'm just going to keep that flat on there, literally pop my 2 shims in and the top plate, and we'll get that one cut, and I'll pass that on to you, Ben.
Thank you.
Don't know what's happened there.
No, I know. I've got. What am I missing out of the set? I don't know. It's all been mixed up. Someone hasn't put it back properly.
Oh,
That sometimes happens in this
dearie
place. But never mind. Never mind. Yeah, I just haven't got the curved one. I've got the wavy one and the straight one. not the
Yeah.
other one.
So this is going to take off that very sort of outside edge piece, like we did with the original cut. So this, oh, again, look, you can see, just literally falls away. So you've got that piece that's taken off the edge, which is actually spare. And then I'm just going to make sure, you don't need to worry about this, but just so that Ben can use this, I just need to make sure that it is still stuck together, but I want to make sure that there's no little pieces left in there, Ben, because as I say, it does affect the cut if there's any of those hiding in there. So there you go.
Thank you.
Okay, and again, you can see how that's literally just all fallen. Didn't even need the metal shim in there, and you shouldn't need it on. You shouldn't need to worry about yours, because when I did my sample, Ben, I used my MIDI at home. So again, just take all those little pieces. They do like to cling when it's glitter card, because you've got that coating on top of your main cardstock. So don't think it hasn't cut. Just give them a little nudge, and they should all come away so that you've got that beautiful border again there. Okay, so I'm going to pop that to one side. I'm going to get rid of all the bits, and there's a little bit more die cutting, which will get that done straight away. So just make sure again that that board is free of pieces, and then I'm going to take my sentiment set. So I chose the butterfly foliage, which has got the happy birthday one in there. And we had some scraps of cardstock that I asked you to bring along with you. So I'm going to use the black gloss card. Now this is from a very old collection that I had in my stash. If you don't have any black gloss, you could use matte black card and spray it if you've got the pearl diamond aerosol spray. That comes up beautiful on black card. Otherwise you could just use a matte black, so don't worry too much. So I'm going to take the 3 pieces that form my interchangeable sentiment, including the happy birthday. So I've got my matte layer, which is the big open one, and I'm going to cut that out of the black gloss card. So I'm going to pop that one on there and literally cut this down. I don't need to put all that spare cardstock through, so just cut it down to size, and that's going to be the back layer. Okay. And then the decorative layer, which includes the butterfly. You all right over there, Ben?
Yeah, I'm just getting rid of all the bits and pieces that we don't. I'm in the
Oh,
bin.
don't worry about that. We can do that later.
Okay.
We can do that bit later. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So on the silver mirror card scrap that I asked you to bring along, I'm popping that decorative element with the butterfly. I'll go through this again, Ben, when I've got them all stuck down. So grab your sentiment die.
Yep.
And it should be a 3-piece set.
Yep.
Yep, so the black gloss card has got that big open matte layer on.
Okay.
The silver, they both look black there, don't they? But the silver mirror card has got the butterfly decorative layer on. And then I asked you to bring along, there is actually a piece left from when we cut the mats and layers, but I couldn't remember whether there was, so I asked you to bring a scrap piece, but I'm just going to pop my sentiment on there that says happy birthday and cut the whole thing out. Don't worry that we don't need all of it.
No.
We'll chop into that in a second, and we can pass these. Now you might need to do a couple of passes if you're using the smaller, obviously with your MIDI.
Right.
I can fit all 3 of mine through here and cut these out.
Yes.
But you might need to pop yours through on a couple of passes, Ben. If you're using the MIDI or the Junior, you might not be able to get all 3 of those in one go.
Okay.
But just a couple of passes through your machine and we'll get those layers cut out.
Okay.
Okay. And that's going to go through my Gemini, and we've got those layers at the ready then. So again, I've got lots of little scrap pieces. I usually decide at the end of the project what I want to keep and what's going in the bin. So when we take this out now, we should have, Be looking for that in a second. We should have that lovely glossy black matte layer there.
Okay.
So that's going to be the outside, well, the base layer.
Got ya.
So again, just make sure that you remove your dies. The number of times I've thrown a piece of scrap card in the bin and the die's been attached to it. So just remember to take those off. Then we've got that glitter card has got your happy birthday sentiment.
Yep.
In there. Again, we can pop all the little bits out in a second, but you've got that lovely happy birthday.
Okay.
Pop that to one side. And again, we can pop that one back on the carrier. And then on the Miri card, we've got that beautiful filigree element. And again, I can pop all the pieces out of my die later. I don't need to worry about that too much at the moment.
By the way, in case you wondered what all that noise was, I'm obviously using the MIDI over here. I'm playing catch up, but it's all good. I'm all there, all die cut through.
So again, just look how pretty. So these are made to layer up like so.
Yeah.
So again, you've got that lovely silver layer, and then this is made to fit inside. Now, if you want to keep it as a birthday card, you can stick this together and that's your sentiment at the ready. We're going to tweak it slightly because I was going for that Happy New Year sentiment. Yeah. So pop the dies to one side out of the way again so that we don't get those mixed up. And I'm going to come back to this piece first of all. So we can actually stick the silver to the black.
Okay.
And I'm going to, because this is so decorative, I'm going to go with my little dotty tape pen on here.
Yes, good idea.
And again, follow the line of your die. If you've got a little tiny piece here at the edge, if I show you on that black cardstock, I'm not going to come in against it because you'll just lift it up and you'll damage it. So anything like that, go away the same shape as the die. So I'm going from the main part of the die to the outside edge, so that you're not going to snag those little tiny pieces. Get a little bit of glue on those, and I'm going to use that across the rest of it there. That shall be enough to stick it together, and we can get that one then stuck onto that matte layer.
Yes.
So just make sure it's the right way round. You've got that nice straight edge, which is going to line up with the straight edge on this one at the bottom.
Yes.
And there should just be enough room to have a little edge again, because it's a matte layer. You're going to get that like 1/8 of an inch border all the way round there. Now I've actually got a little bit of my glue on there, so just with the cloth, a lot of those should rub off, but the happy birthday bit's not going to is going to stick over the top of there anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. But they do rub off with the cloth there, so I'm not too worried. I'm going to cover that anyway. So that's my sort of matte. And then the happy birthday, I don't particularly want the birthday, but as I say, if you wanted to keep it as a birthday card, you can use your dotty glue pen and you can stick this one straight over the top like so.
Yeah.
What I'm actually going to do is take my little snips and just follow the line of the writing, and I'm going to snip away the birthday element.
Okay.
So where the B's attached, I'm going to go straight across the top and make a straight cut at the bottom of the 2 P's. And then again, it's just attached on the Y. So again, I'm following the shape of that happy and just snipping away the birthday element. So you're left with just the word happy on its own. And then when you've done that, you can stick that piece into your mat that we've just created there. Okay, now it's bugging me a little bit that I've got those that glue on there. So I'm just going to see if I can tidy mine up a second while you all
catch up.
Get to that layer.
I can probably, I'm just nipping my last little bit off here. Go on.
So again, I just want to, there we go, that's bringing it off better.
Here's mine. So yes, so literally I've just layered mine up there. As you can see, I've got my little happy that I've just snipped, and there's my little the border for the inside of my card as well. So I'm all there, all looking good.
Yep. So I've just literally got that one cleaned up a little bit there. So again, you can use your dotty tape pen. I'm actually going to flick to my little fine glue applicator for this one. Yeah. Because it's so delicate, that sentiment, I don't want to snag it with the dotty tape pen. So I'm going to put little tiny dots of wet glue just in certain places to make sure that it's anchored And then before I stick it down, I tend to use my finger and just dab that excess glue, otherwise you'll end up with that sort of seepage again. So just get rid of some of the bulk there, and then we're going to pop that one in line, and you'll just see how it fits nicely into that design there. So if I just tilt this one into the light, you can see we've got the happy there, and we've got a little space where the birthday should be, and we're now going to create the little cheat, okay, to fill that gap. Okay. So I've got my stamp set at the ready, and as I said, I found one that had New Year in there, and all I'm going to do is stamp that out onto a piece of scrap white cardstock.
Yep.
So let me just grab my Happy New Year out of there. And I ask you to bring along your chosen stamping platform and a black stamping ink. And it didn't matter which one it was, because we're not going to be colouring or anything like that. So it just wants to be black. And then I've got some spare, the pieces that we cut off that original A4. I'm just going to stamp on here. And what I want to do is, I'm not bothered about the happy. So I'm looking at my stamp here, and I'm just going to bring the ink up to the N to get the New Year part.
Oh yes.
All right. And if you do happen to get any on here, just clean it off that happy part there. And again, just make sure we've got enough ink on there. And we just want to stamp out the words New Year. That's the only bit that I need off that stamp there. You can see I've just got that little bit on its own there. Yeah. And then I'm going to fussy cut that with my little snips. So again, we'll pop that to one side. I'm going to take my snips. And again, just be mindful that your ink might be a little bit wet. But I'm just going to follow and leave a little tiny border, that lettering, and just what we call fussy cut, which just is a fancy term for basically cutting around a shape.
Yeah.
So literally leaving a little white border, as if you've used a die around it. If you imagine the ones that come with matching dies, you always get that little white border. And the secret to this is to try and do it all in one cut. So don't be tempted to cut this piece off, because you want to get that nice rounded finish as if it's been done in a die. So just keep going all the way around, just following the line of that lettering. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't matter if you go up and down in the wrong place. You're just creating that little tiny element there. And again, as I say, you can snip away the waste from the back of it, but try and keep this cut line continuous to avoid any sort of sharp edges on it. It wants to be rounded all the way around, right to the very edge there where we started, and you end up with that nice little sentiment there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cheat by popping this bit in the gap that we had left for the birthday. So again, I'm just going to use a little tiny bit of my acrylic glue, my tacky glue there,
okay,
on the back of that one. And again, just tap off that excess. If ever you're working on mirror card, just tap off the excess of the glue, because I've actually got a couple of bits on here that I'm struggling to get off from the glue pen. But I'm just going to pop that one at the bottom.
Yes.
And you can see now we've created our own sort of bespoke Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And the white does look a bit odd, but when we get it on the card, because the card base is white, it will all link in together. So I'm going to keep going now, because I'm just conscious that we've not got a lot of time left. So bringing my card back in that we did all our matting and layering with. Okay. Yep. We've now got that piece that we've die cut that we're going to stick over that silver layer that we'd already stuck in the back of our card.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
So again, you can use your choice of glue. I'm going to go with the Kalal again there. Okay. And I'm going to pop it on the back. Again, just enough. Try not to get over giddy with the glue.
Don't get giddy with the glue.
Yep. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of this that I've put on here and literally smear it on that top edge. because that's such a narrow element, I don't want to go in with the actual glue pot. So pop yourself a bit of extra glue in here and literally just run it over that external edge there. And again, if you need a little bit in the centre of the flowers here, just that little tiny bit to anchor it. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to line this up at the bottom of the card with that same border that we have around the other mats and layers, so that 1/8 of an inch, and then let it stop wherever it reaches at the top. And then I'm just going to use my cloth there to press it down so that I don't get stuck to the piece myself.
Yes.
And again, just make sure that everything's stuck together. Okay. If there is any surplus glue there, you can just rub, the collal just rubs away nicely. Okay. And then because we're sticking onto glitter card, I'm going to swap from my all-purpose back to the tacky glue.
Okay.
This works better on the glitter card because it's going to soak in and sort of attach itself to those fibres in there. So again, I'm just going to pop some of the tacky all the way around the edge of that little plaque that we've made that says Happy New Year.
Got you.
Make sure we've got some on the back, and you can put plenty in the centre here now because we want it to soak into that glitter card and anchor it there.
Okay.
And then this one's just going to centre in what we've got left. So again, looking at the bottom, looking at the sides, and just sort of getting a nice sort of central position for it. Okay.
Yes.
And that's the bulk of it. The rest of it is decoration.
Boom.
Okay. So let's just pop that. So you should now have all your mats and layers in place. We've got one final element to put behind here, which we'll have time to do.
Yes.
So I'm going to carry on, if that's okay, just to get this done now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So bring
Far
your
away.
guillotine back into place.
Yep.
I ask you to bring a piece of silver glitter card. This is the last bits of cut that we need to do. So we need a piece that is 5 7/8 in the longest side. All right, so mine measures 8 1/4 because it's been taken off a piece of A4 card. So I'm going to move this back in to 5 7/8. So I'm looking at the 6-inch mark, and I'm just coming back 2 little marks to 5 7/8 and take that edge off. Okay, and then rotate it so that you've got that 5 7/8 from top to bottom. And we're going to create 2 pieces that measure 2 1/4 inches. Okay, and I'll pop the sizings on the back of these again. So 2 1/4 inches. You'll have a little bit spare. So when I pop these down, we'll just pop on the back of there for you that we've got 5 7/8 by 2 1/4 inches, and you need 2 pieces of those just for your screenshot there if you want to take a screenshot of it.
Lovely.
And what we're going to do with those pieces, if you can see my original sample, behind that lovely patterning,
Yeah.
I've got the silver card pop behind it just to create, so at the moment you can see through these straight through. So just by adding this behind it,
Got you.
it's adding another feature.
Yeah.
Now what I've done is I've cut these to fit behind the main detail, but leaving the little tiny edge see-through. So if you pop them, you're going to fit them and leave that decorative edge showing.
Yes.
You see there?
I think. Yeah.
Yeah? So they just cut the right size. Now I found it easier with this one to put the glue on this piece because obviously you don't want glue on the back of here.
No.
So I'm going to go back to my dotty tape pen. I'm going to run it top to bottom over those die cut areas. Yep.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to do inside, not right to the edge because obviously there is a little bit of a border. And then we're literally going to pop this piece, and it's just slightly shorter than the height of the card, and then get that one stuck on the inside there. So you've got the silver facing down so that it shows through that decorative edge. Yep. Make sure it's stuck down well. And then we're going to do the same at this side. So again, I'm going to stick with that tape pen. I'm going to come over the piece that we've die cut, the decorative piece. Take a few lines down that edge as well. And then again, silver side face down, nearly up to the score line but not quite. Make sure you've covered your decorative piece but leave that little scalloped edge free.
Yep.
Give it a good rub into place. Woohoo. And then you'll find that when we've got that open now, you've got that lovely silver backing behind your decorative edges.
Got you.
All right.
I'm all there.
Right, now then, there's one more piece that we can do. I think we can fit in time. And then I've got you a little tiny bit of homework left to do. So those of you that have brought them, I think what I might do is just talk you through this because I'm just looking at the time now.
9 minutes.
Do you reckon we're going to fit this in?
Dunno.
I think I'm going to talk you through it because obviously we need to close the show through as well. So this literally is just the teasing me now with the 10-minute timer again.
You've got less than that now, Jan.
What I found with it when it was finished like this, I wasn't happy with the fact that it wasn't laying flat.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, I need something. And what I came up with was just this little closure which is stuck to one half of it. And just the weight of this is enough to keep it closed and it becomes part of the design when you open it. So I asked you to bring a couple of circle dies if you have them. And what I've done, I'll just talk you through this. Somewhere I had some left. I don't know what I've done with it. But basically, I've cut the larger circle in silver mirror card and the smaller circle in black glitter card. Now, I've misplaced my silver mirror card. I don't know what I've done with it. But oh, here we go. It's there. All right. So this, you want one of this size, which is about, I think it was about 2 inches in the silver mirror. And then one of the smaller size in the black glitter card.
Okay.
And then I also asked you to bring, if you had them, a couple of star dies. And again, I'm going to do one of the larger stars in the silver. And then one of the little stars in what's left of your black gloss card. So if I lay these out here like so. Oops. Again, if you want to just screenshot for that last little bit there. Okay, so we've got silver mirror, black glitter, silver glitter, and the black gloss. Okay, and then what I've done is I've layered those up like so, with the star inside and the little star in the centre, and that has actually created that circle. All right, beautiful. In the centre there is the closure. And then the last bit, which you're all more than capable of doing at home if you wish to add it. I did mention some black pearls and some silver pearls. So just down the centre of the flowers, I've used a little tiny drop of my tacky glue and then placed the black ones, 8 down each side, down the centre of that embellishment on the outside. And then because we were working on the black card on the inside, I've done the silver ones and done 8 of them the same across the centre there. And then you can just see I've added a couple more stars. I'll leave that open again if you want to screenshot it. It just looked a little bit blank on the side, so I decided just to add a couple there to link in that outside piece. And again, stars, new year, it all sort of links in together. So yeah, a little bit of homework for you just to finish it off. And don't forget when you've finished, guys, I know a lot of you send me the photos when you've done. All right, and Ben's actually dancing over there with a big smile on his face.
I had to just slightly change it because I had the original star that you said, and I've dropped it and I can't find it. But I've created my little clasp there. Look, got my little glitter down the side here.
Fantastic.
Open it up, boom.
Yep. Is your little star in your packet?
No, I had it and I stuck it
in the packet at the side of you.
I've got another little one there.
Oh, that's for the, oh right, yeah, those
but
were
I
for the
had to-
inside
yeah,
and with
I dropped
you, yeah.
it and it's
that's
down,
it.
it's fallen under the counter
Not to
somewhere.
worry.
But this
As I
is,
say, there's no right or wrong,
come
but
on.
you've got a finished one, look.
yeah.
You managed to get yours cut ready.
But like you, I'd like to add a few of the little embellishments, maybe a
Yeah,
few
just
little
to
more
finish
stars
it
in
off. But that's the easy bit, you know. That's that. And again, I've always said embellishing's quite a personal thing. Some people like it. I find it difficult to step away from a card. I have to force myself. Right, that's enough bling on it, Jan. Step away from it. So yeah, you should end up with your finished design there that will stand beautifully, you know, on a mantelpiece or on a windowsill, and a Happy New Year sentiment in there. That sentiment can be changed to absolutely everything. Look at that, Mr. Mosby.
Yes!
You are a star. I told you you'd graduate with honours at the end of the class.
Thank you!
Look at that.
Yes, Jan! I'm so chuffed.
Fantastic.
It's literally been the show where I've spoke the least, I think, of the 2 hours, because that's the concentration. And it's been so funny. Georgina's been going, Benny, can I just give you some information? I'm like, no, I'm listening to Jan. But yeah, brilliant. I really enjoyed
I
that.
think that is brilliant. I think you've done really well. As I say, because I'm very aware that you've got your job to do over there as well, I think the fact that you've got through that and finished it, that looks stunning.
Yeah,
Just
I'm working.
wait. You can keep that and send it to your Laura at New Year, look.
Oh, yes!
Because she'll be thrilled. Made by, on the back of it, made by Ben Mosby.
Exactly right, yeah.
Handcrafted by Ben Mosby.
Crafted. That's true, actually. I am going to keep that and give that to my
Fantastic.
Laura.
Well
Thank you. Hopefully you guys have got a finished card as well. Send in pictures if you do. I just wanted to show you the collection where we used our happy from. So this is the interchangeable sentiment dies, and they're brilliant for the fact that you've got lots of different sentiments for all sorts of different occasions. And like this one here that we're showing you, which is our butterfly foliage, you can just simply interchange the sentiments within the actual frame itself. And as you saw when we were using it a few moments ago, you've got your base layer, you've then got the decorative frame, and then your choice of sentiment to pop into it. And how brilliant, great idea from Jan. If you just want to use the happy for New Year or whatever it might be, you can snip into these as well. So your butterfly foliage is happy birthday, happy Easter and happy thoughts. Then you've got this one here, which is your regal frame. So just for you, miss you and thank you. Again with that beautiful decorative frame, as well as the edge for your base layer. Wildflowers is sending hugs, sending love. For a second there, I read that one as sending money. I don't know why. That wouldn't be my card. Sending kisses. You've then got best friend, best wishes and best of luck in your lovely vines. That would look beautiful, wouldn't it, if you whack that for your foil press. 25% off, by the way, right now. This is your ornate swirl, sending wishes, birthday wishes and get well wishes. And then lastly is your pretty florals, which is congratulations, celebrate and condolences. All of that today with a, well, £45, $50 saving. Platinum price is $35.98 or $40.68. But come on, how much fun have we had with the Build a Border Die collection? Super duper is this. And you can take it home today for an amazing price, £43.17 or $56.88 if you are a platinum member. This is the Moroccan trellis. So again, you get your curved, your wavy, and your straight edged, and then you've got the cutting edges to add on to this. So if you want to go straight with your curvy, you can. If you want to add the detail with your curvy, with your wavy, you can do as well. But I just think these are absolutely so brilliant, so usable. There's your elegant daisy chains. You've also got the delicate hearts. And then lastly is that Eastern trellis. If you go for the bundle, you're going to get 10 sheets of your lavender cardstock included as well. You can go on a multi-buy too. If you want to go on the multi-buy, oh, I've got so many bits of paper all over the place. It's 2 for £29 or $39. Last few comments coming in. Thank you for all of these, by the way. Loads of you say you've enjoyed the show. Cara just saying, I do like the card. Teresa says, beautiful, Ben. What a great craft along. Jan and Eleanor saying, yay, Ben, you did a wonderful job. You should be proud of yourself. I certainly am. I've had a lot of fun and it's been great as well. With Jan doing the craft alongs, honestly, I feel like I'm sort of upskilling within the world of craft, mainly thanks to the lovely lady on the other side of the studio. You've empowered me to get crafting, Jan.
I love the fact that you're taking what you're learning here, though, and being able to do that at home with Daisy. I just think that is that makes me happy.
Yes.
Because, you know, as a teacher and an educator, the fact that you can now do that and you've got the confidence to take it home and do it at home, absolutely brilliant. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. And it's all about that, isn't it? Having fun, you know, getting the tools out and just playing and having fun. And wow, I mean, come on, seriously. beginner crafter creating something like this, you can do this. This is the point. That's why we have these shows. That's why we give you these amazing products to work with. If you haven't yet picked up this collection, get it today. We'll send it out to you and you'll have this 2-hour craft along to follow. And even if you've never crafted before, you too will be able to make an absolutely stunning Happy New Year card. We're going to have a couple of hours off here, but we're back, Jan and I, for a brilliant show. Creative Cravings is coming your way at 7 o'clock, 2 o'clock Eastern. We'll see you then. Bye for now.